International Radio, Luxury with Natalia, here in beautiful, well, not so sunny Monaco today, but still very warm. And I have a special guest today, Mark Duncan. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to see you.
Fantastic to have you on the show.
Yeah, you've been a busy lady.
Yeah, so have you.
A busy lady?
Yeah, well, not a lady, but a man. In fact, this must be rather odd, because you used to be a host on a breakfast show.
Yeah.
So we're reversing.
It was a long time ago, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fresh as a daisy, Mark.
For a Monday morning.
For a Monday morning. Especially that, well, you're kind of a guru when it comes to something that you've coined as smarketing. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, I mean, I can't take credit for referring to it as smarketing, but smarketing basically is this notion that you have two different poles of expertise. You have sales, and then you have marketing. And the whole thing that we have in our industry, but many industries, is that very often you have sales in one corner, you have marketing in another corner, and neither of the two will ever meet. And of course, the whole thing is that if you're really going to do business today, in whatever industry or ever field, you really get the best results and you deliver the best client experience when you get all the great qualities of salespeople and all the great communication skills and the tools of marketing people, and then you bring them together.
So that's sales and marketing combined into
Smarketing.
Smarketing, love it. And in fact, the reason why I thought it would be good to talk to you is, well, currently your role is Business Development Director here at Fraser Yacht.
Yeah.
But before you came into this role, you were very busy writing. And writing something quite interesting, which I think is a Bible of yachting and could be actually transferable to other luxury industries, because we have this amazing book. Tell us about this book, because this is not just any book, it is a very thick book with lots of amazing content. Ooh.
Thank you. And you've read it.
Well, partially. It's so hard to put down, but with all the things that I'm doing.
Yeah, you're a busy lady.
Exactly. So I'm thinking Christmas will be the time for me. So watch this space. I'll leave some comments. But just in the secrets to sourcing, winning, and retaining the world's richest clientele. Now, you've been in the business industry for around 25 plus years. What have you seen that has changed, and why were you inspired to write it all down?
Okay, good question. So, why was I inspired to write it all down? Well, because whenever I joined yachting, which was about 15, 16 years ago, it didn't exist. So one of the first things that I did, and I mean a lot of my peers did when we first, and you as well, I think, when you join yachting, it's like, well, where are the books or the guides or the courses or that I can read or do to get up to speed on how this industry works? And very quickly you realise there aren't any.
Yep.
Which means that you're learning on the ground. And learning on the ground is fine. In fact, it's one of the best ways to learn. But it takes time. So for me, for example, I know I wasn't, even though I'd been doing sales and marketing in other industries prior to coming to yachting, I think it took me a good 2 or 3 years before I really got to grips with how this industry works, all the different facets of the industry, whether it's crew or charter or sales or yacht management or pure corporate marketing. So it took about a good 2 or 3 years, and likewise with my colleagues at the time. So roll forward, I left my company before this. I had some gardening leave, and I thought, what could I do in that time that's going to be useful, being as I can't do a lot for a while. Play golf. So I did play some golf.
Oh, good.
So I thought what I'll do is I'll empty the brain of anything and everything that I've learned over the 10 or 11 years that I was doing it in yachting. And if I move out of yachting into another sector, at least I know that anybody coming into yachting in the future, whether you're a broker or a marketeer or a CEO or a commercial director, whatever, at least there's something there that's based on something concrete. So it's actually somebody who's done it. Somebody who's made mistakes, somebody who's done some really good stuff, I think. Not on my own, but with teams. But also it shares the feedback from my peers. So people I was working with in other companies in the industry and what they did and what they experimented with. Feedback from clients, for example, whenever we try something in our industry, we may think it's really good, but of course the ultimate decision maker, the ultimate litmus test is what do the clients think. So captains, what they think, and so on. So it's all there in one place. And the idea is that nobody joining the industry today as a marketeer or a broker or a charter manager or a yacht man, whatever, nobody needs to start from scratch and have to learn it all over 2 or 3 years.
That's right. And also, but we see a significant change and more of an open industry now in yachting, that we are sharing ideas. We are trying for the best, the better of the industry, to do things together and to elevate it. So pushing it and maybe comparing it a little bit to the automotive industry, what they're doing in terms of marketing and implementing things that are more emotional. And I see that in Instagram or various social media platforms, and also more video content. That's cool. That's really nice to be able to see. And also from your perspective, it's not like you're the new kid on the block coming in and saying, hey, this is the way marketing should be. It's actually embracing the past with the future, present, future, and coming out there and saying, hey guys, pay attention, this could be good for you, and voila. So what's the feedback been? I mean, I've seen some great reviews so far from top people in the industry. Have you heard anything what's the feedback from the end clients? That's the one that...
Well, I mean, I've said this before, it's been very good, but maybe that's because the people who bought it and don't like it haven't told me yet, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's been very good, and I mean, when you're doing, I've never written a book before, so it's like you every day I was thinking, what am I doing? I mean, who's going to read this anyway? I mean, why am I doing this? And every day was like a bit of a battle. And then when you go through the process of having it published and designed and all of that, it's a bit scary because you're putting all of that out there, and you're not quite sure what's going to happen as a result. Yeah. So, no, it's been excellent. I mean, I'm really, really proud and I'm really pleased. And, people who buy it send me messages and, private messages and tweets and texts and Facebook all the time, which is really nice. I mean, the feedback has been everything from... it's the most expensive book I've ever bought in my life. Right. But as one guy said a few weeks back, he said, Mark, it's the most expensive book I've ever bought in my life, but the cheapest course in yacht marketing, or marketing generally, for ultra high net worth individuals that I've ever bought, with more in it than I've ever had from a seminar. And I think that's the big thing, because this is not many books. Marketing books, sales books that are written by authors are really written as lead magnets. That they're lead magnets to get you to buy a course, or they're lead magnets to get you to buy something else. And that, I guess, was the original idea for this. But that's not what it is. That's not what that book is. It's all in. So anything you read about, yes, there's some blue sky stuff in there. There's some nice strategic stuff. But it's deliberately packed with every single thing that you can implement and do today as a broker or a charter broker or a yacht manager or a company that wants to better improve your communication skills. So that's been good. The I think what's also important is two things. One, I wrote it in a way that it's not a dry academic book. I mean, it is available and it is recommended reading in some universities, including the
amazing at the University of Monaco.
Monaco, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to be a dry read. I didn't want it to be this academic. You must do. You should do. So it's very much based on anecdotes. It's very much based on stories with owners, stories with clients, stories with other brokers to illustrate the various points. And it's designed to bring all the different elements, which when you first get into this mad industry of ours, you suspect they should connect, but you're not quite sure how.
Right.
It brings those together. The second thing I think is important is, and I love these people for this, is that in an industry that's not necessarily renowned for working together, on this at least, all the key players have worked together. I mean, there's references from my current CEO, Raphael Solo from Fraser, but there's Jonathan Beckett from Burgess, there's Fiona Marisso from Northrop and Johnson. There's a lot of key players, and all of them have taken this and seen this. MYBA members, Libra members, I've seen this as a way of helping us raise our game generally in yachting, so that we do better communicate with clients, and we use techniques that are a bit smarter and a bit more human and a bit more attention to detail than maybe we have done before. So it's had their support, and I can't thank them enough for it, because it's you know, for anybody who doesn't know me, then hopefully they do know Raphael or Duncan.
By now.
But
yeah, that's awesome. And yes, true, the wittiness that comes out, I can hear your voice when I'm reading it. It's just hilarious. So
sorry about that.
No, it's great actually. It's much better than, like you said, a dry book where you can go, oh god, I'm going to read this to fall asleep. But no, it actually keeps you on your toes.
Well, the thing is, what I really hate when I read books like this, and I read a lot of books like this, you know, from marketing books or sales books for other industries. And what really annoys me is one, they can be really quite dry.
Yeah.
So it's quite it's quite a dry academic read. So it can be hard to get through. And two, they're forever. You know, you must do. You have to do this. If you're not doing this, and it's not about that. It's not about you must. It's just that, have you thought about this?
Try.
Or we tried this and we got these results, and here's how we did it, A to Z. Try it, and see what happens. And you were saying about doing what feedback. I mean, for me, that's the bestest feedback that I get. People I don't know, whether they're captains or as I say, owners or clients, PR agencies, or people working in other industries that are trying to sell to or communicate, as you said, with ultra high net worths, who are saying that listen, Mark, don't know you, bought your book, read it, tried this and this and this, and it's already worked. So that's lovely. I mean, for me, that's beautiful.
That's cool. And the definition of luxury, the show is Luxury with Natalia, and I love it because it's contradictory in itself. And
no,
the way
you are luxury through and through.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, Mark. Well, I twisted up a bit. So, what is in your mind the change that's happened in terms of luxury from 20 odd years ago to today? What's happening?
Well, I mean, I think the first question to ask is what define luxury, because I think everybody has a different idea of luxury, and I think there's some old-fashioned ideas of luxury. I mean, old-fashioned ideas of luxury, I think, are people who still believe that you have no personality. It's very, very dry. It's very corporate. It's very, and I think that's moved on. So that's one of the biggest changes. I think now you have Bentley and Rolls-Royce and Airbus and Rolex, who are using social media influencers today. In fact, they've gone one step further than that. They're using their own clients as influencers. So one, they're using social media. Two, they've got character and voice, which maybe they didn't have before. And three, they're using their own clients. I say using them, that's not nice. They're working with their own clients. To experientially show the car or the jet or the house or the whatever it is. So I think that's a massive change, and a very scary one for brands, because when you've spent, in some cases, hundreds of years, curating and holding and stabilizing a brand, it can be very scary at this point, where in the space of 3 or 4 years, you're radically using all these new techniques. But I think they're working is the first thing. When it comes to our industry, I mean, obviously you have shipyards who are the manufacturers of luxury products, and so that's a fairly traditional definition of luxury. I guess you have a luxury product that's beautifully finished and beautifully made or whatever else. In terms of brokerage houses like Fraser or Burgess or Camber, whatever, we don't have luxury products. I mean, we sell luxury products, but what we're really about, I think, is the luxury for us is in the service. So that brings a whole new definition or a whole new question, which is, well, where is luxury in service? If you're a service industry, which we are for the most part, although we are selling yachts, so we have to know where the luxury in the brand or in the product is. People will come and use this, but not because necessarily of the yachts that we're selling or chartering, but because of the service. So the question is, where is luxury in service? So
I know the answer. Well, there's no wrong answer in this, but I always find it fascinating to hear it from people themselves. So go for it.
Well, what do you think?
My question about...
What do you think? Where's luxury in service?
Well, the service is how you provide it and the relationships you build. That's how I see it, at least.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
So
me. Why would you choose you and not somebody else?
Yeah. So breaking that down then, diving right into that, what does that mean? So for me, that means attention to detail, obviously. So it means, but it also means the tools that you use to communicate. So, people are coming to you for a service. There's certain things that they expect. They expect you to have a certain amount of knowledge that you bring with you. They expect you to have a network that you can tap into on their behalf. They expect you to have experience and long-term vision as to what it is that you're offering in terms of your service. But to get back to it, they expect you to have at least the basic communication tools so that they can see what it is you're proposing and how you work and what it means for them. One of the big things that we talk about in the book, and I know you know it, is that it's the biggest thing is answering those questions that any client has, which is whenever they come to you to buy anything from you, whether it's a service or a product, and that is the questions are, one, what's in it for me, and how do I benefit? So you can have two companies that provide exactly the same level of service in terms of integrity or experience or network or all those other metrics that we talk about. But the one that has the smoothest communication tools, using digital invariably, of course.
Yep.
Using digital tools, dashboards, video, 360 walkthroughs, virtual reality, all of that. Using that in how they communicate the service that they're providing. Invariably, in today's marketplace, it'll be those guys and girls that get first crack at the whip, and not the other guys who are maybe just as good.
That's true, absolutely, and everyone's playing catch up on that scene. As you can see from attending all these various forums, we're hearing conferences where we're talking about how to become better at what we're doing and how to do this and that and the other. And it's funny, it's hilarious actually. One of the brokerages around here a couple of years ago started to do things very differently and dramatically. And then people followed suit. And so it's like a bit of a snowball effect. However, it's good because it actually means that the whole industry becomes more competitive and competition is good. So it's healthy and it means that things change. So that's awesome. And what's happening next then in the world of Mark Duncan? Is there going to be a part 2 or what?
Well, I come back to it. What's in it for me? How do I benefit? Does anybody care what happens in the world of Mark Duncan? I mean, in terms of the book, the audio version is coming out. There's quite a few normally brokers have said to me, Mark, I don't have time to read. Are you doing an audiobook? So the audiobook's underway, but it's taken a lot longer than I thought.
Is that your voice?
It'll be partly my voice.
It should
but
be.
Only partly.
Oh, it should be though. That's the entertainment factor.
There will be a little bit at the start where I'll tell you what, because I've got a bit of an accent obviously, so I'll explain what various words mean when I say them. So the audiobook will come out probably on the 1-year anniversary of this being launched, so early next year. Otherwise, we're looking forward to a good 2020. I mean, 2020, interesting year.
New decade.
New decade. We've just seen, obviously, the result of the elections in the UK. Next year is the year we have the presidential elections taking place, so quite an important year there to see what happens. And an important year to see what happens with the brokerage market after this year's performance and all the various sections of the super yacht industry. So I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of people are really looking forward to it. I think
I can't wait for the end of the year. I want to see
the end of the year.
Oh yeah, this one. Begin the 2020 for sure. Yeah. Oh, it'd be good. Awesome. So we might see you on stage at some of the forums as well. Shed some light.
Yeah, I mean, there was one I missed out on this year, a few weeks back, which was a shame, but I was otherwise engaged, but I would have liked to be in there. Yeah, I mean, you have things like, anybody who's watching this, if you are new to the industry, or if you're in one sector of yachting, like yacht management, and you want to move into another sector, like, I don't know, charter management or sales, MYBA do run some amazing training seminars, training forums. You can do online stuff as well, but they have some real meet the people.
Okay.
So they take place, if I remember correctly, in February in the south of France, and then they have others elsewhere in the world. So I'll be as every year taking part in those and doing those.
Awesome.
If you want to find out more about those, you just go to the MYBA website, I think, and you'll find it there on training. So yeah, I'll be out and about at various seminars, whatever.
Good.
talking about it.
Amazing. And we want to see more content on your social media. It's looking a little dry at the moment.
Yeah, I haven't got time. That's the thing as well. It's like, when you write a book like that, people look at your own social media and it's like, Mark's a bit quiet, isn't he? It's like, I just don't have time.
You haven't launched it properly yet.
No, I haven't.
But it's doing so good. So, go figure, is social media the way forward or not? There's one to end the question on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I firmly believe in social media, as you know. But I don't have the time, and I haven't found somebody that also wants to do it for me yet. So maybe talk to you later. But yeah, I mean, it's social media today is, if it's used properly though, and I think that's the key thing.
Yeah.
What's been great about the book is that when it launched, a lot of media outlets covered it, which was nice. There was a lot of word of mouth still, and I think I think it's been sold in 28 different countries now.
Congrats.
It's gone well beyond what I thought it would do in its lifespan already. I mean, it did that in the first 3 or 4 months, frankly, but. And I think that's nice because people are reading it and then recommending it. And in an industry where brokers are quite discerning about what's good or bad, I think as our marketeers, I think that's quite nice.
Thank you, Mark. That's awesome. And for your wit and your insights, of course, is always very entertaining. So if anyone wants to read the book, you can buy it on Amazon, and there's a website for it as well, which is smartyachtmarketing.com. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's lots of free previews on there if you wanna read some stuff and see what it's like. And then, as you say, you can buy it on any of the Amazons. And I think there may be. I think the plan is to have a special offer for the new year. So don't buy it until then, I guess. Oh, it's a
or do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mark. See you around.
You will. It's hard to miss you.
I know, right?
You're a busy lady.
I try to chameleon myself with the hair. Blonde, red.
Yeah, it's good though.
Still, people recognize
Yeah.
me. Damn.
I can't miss you.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, thanks so much. So, thanks for this episode, for tuning in on Luxury with Natalia Yachting International Radio. It's soon the new year, so keep tuned in for more episodes coming soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.